how do we build good financial habits? Last week we covered the habit loop and how habits are built, right? That there's a cue, a craving, a response, and a reward. So how can we take that and shape it and turn it into something that creates good habits? This is again explored in the book Atomic Habits by James Clear, which you can pick up. But the idea behind it is that you want to use 4 laws that key into the habit loop to create good habits. And the 4 laws are this: 1, make it obvious; 2, make it attractive; 3, make it easy; and 4, make it satisfying. So let's see how that would work. Let's say that you're trying to build the good financial habit of keeping a budget, of tracking where your money's going so that you can control what you're spending your money on, and you're not wondering every month, like, hey, we make all this money, where did it go, right? And so you need to create the good financial habit of tracking a budget, keeping a budget. So how do we do that? How do we apply these 4 laws to making it a good financial habit? Well, 1, make it obvious. And one of the ways that you can do that is through something called habit stacking, where you take a habit you already do and you stack on a habit that you want to do along with it. So for example, so when this, then that. So when I already do this thing that I already do, then I'm going to do this thing that I want to do. So when I have my morning movement, right, when I have my toilet time, I will take out my phone and categorize my transactions. Right? Instead of scrolling social media or doing an email, like as soon as I sit down, I will take out my phone and categorize my transactions. You're already going to do that morning movement every day anyways. So it's a great time to pair with something you're trying to build. Second, how do we make it attractive, right? And there's lots of ways to do that. But in our example, one of the ways you can do this is by using a great app or a great system that makes it fun to do. And YNAB is the app that I've used for years. There's a link to that in the description. And it's a great thing where they've got lots of different things in there that make it fun and easy to use. There's a lot of budgeting ways to do it out there, spreadsheets and on paper and all these things. And most people hate it because it's not attractive. It's not fun. It's not enjoyable. And there's little things that they've built into the app that make it attractive to do. And when you're doing it with something you already do anyways, it makes it easy. And that's the third one, right? Make it easy. And that's the thing. If you're trying to do a budget, and you're trying to import transactions into a budget, or you're trying to keep all your receipts and then manually enter them all in, or you're trying to do it on paper and you keep losing the paper, whatever it is, all these things, you're never going to build a good financial habit on something that's difficult. We are hardwired to find the easiest way to do anything. And so you need to make it easy. And something like YNAB does that, where you can pay for it, which I recommend, and then we'll import all your transactions. All you have to do is refresh it each day or each week, however often you're trying to do the habit, and then all the transactions will be there, and you just tell them what it was. It'll remember old transactions. If you say Quick Trip is a gas station, so categorize that as fuel anytime I spend money there. It'll do that for you automatically, and you just approve. Yep, that's what I wanted to do. Here's a new store, I'm going to do that. And so there's ways to make creating a budget easy, and I think YNAB and other ones like it are an easy way to do that. And then the 4th one is to make it satisfying. And how do you make it something that you enjoy doing versus something that you hate doing? And YNAB, again, is built in a lot of things in there that make it satisfying, right? You get little rewards when you do things correctly, and things light up green when everything's good and good to go, and some of these things. So if you're using a system that makes good habits obvious, you stack it on something else you're already doing, you make it attractive, something you actually want to do, you make it easy, get rid of any obstacles you have for that, and you make it satisfying, make something at the end you're like, yeah, I'm glad I did that. And there's lots more examples. We go into it in the full podcast episode, which you can find at retirementmentorship.com/76, or you can find more about all these things in the Atomic Habits book. We'll see you next week with how to break a bad habit.